A Republican House member of the Oklahoma House of Representatives by the name of Kevin West has put forward legislation that would make it a felony for a drag performer to perform in public in front of children. And if an individual dresses in drag and is seen by a child in public, then that drag performer could face up to 2 years in prison, along with a fine of up to $20,000. Just if a kid sees you. Because the way this piece of legislation is written, yes, it mentions performances, and of course specifically says drag time story hours, but it also says anyone in public with an overly feminine persona. So you don't even have to be a performer. You could dress in drag, walk down the street. If a kid sees you, oh no, you've just committed a felony and you're going to prison for 2 years after you pay $20,000. This is utter insanity. This is absolutely mind-blowing. And not to mention the fact, as many people on social media have pointed out, the overly feminine persona could also apply to women. So you could just be existing as a woman, as a very feminine woman, and the cops could come up if this thing were law and say, I'm sorry, lady, but you're too ladylike. We have to arrest you. Maybe your makeup's a little too much. I didn't think we'd be here as a country. Not in the year 2023. But here's the thing. I kind of take solace in my optimism that this thing will never become law. Like, it's just too insane to think that we as a country will allow this to become a law, even in the crazy state of Oklahoma. No offense to Oklahomans. I don't think it'll pass. Like, I really genuinely want to believe it will not pass. But you already have legislation that attacks drag performers in Arizona, Texas, Idaho, Michigan, Montana, Missouri, Tennessee, Nebraska, South Carolina, and West Virginia. This is a coordinated attack on drag performers here in the United States. Why? Because Republicans can't actually legislate on issues, right? They can't go out there and pass bills about economics. They can't pass bills about protecting the environment. They can't pass bills to even invest money in infrastructure. So what do? They attack drag performers because, oh my God, what a scourge that is on our children. Let me tell you something. If you grew up watching television, you know, some of the most popular shows of the 80s and 90s, you know, that generation, and even before that, I mean, hell, it used to be a show, it was what, maybe 70s or 80s, Bosom Buddies, you know, Tom Hanks. The whole premise was they had to pretend to be women. Tootsie, the movie, had to pretend to be a woman. There's an episode of Full House where the men had to dress as women. There was an episode of Mr. Belvedere, same thing. Same thing on the show Step by Step. Same thing on Saved by the Bell. Do I need to continue? And by the way, all of these shows were actually geared towards young Americans, oftentimes children. So are we going to have to go arrest those people? Are we going to have to arrest, you know, any other children's program where a boy comes out dressed like a girl? It's not harmful for children. It is absolutely not. And these idiots are trying to make it illegal because they genuinely don't know how to legislate. But more importantly, they're just awful, terrible human beings. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.